Welcome to another edition of Sunday Suppers with Sago, and I'm your host, Chef Chet Sago. And tonight, you are cooking and cocktailing, but we won't be doing any cooking tonight. We're gonna have a special interest story from an up-and-coming rapper who you may know as Shake, who just released his new album, My Pain.
My pain, I just wanna know, do you feel my pain? I can hear the voices when they scream my name. I can feel the demons inside my brain. I can see the shadows in the midnight rain.
Everybody has been listening. I've seen a lot of your handles on social media. And Shake, you just released a new single. Tell us a little bit about that song.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Shay. And yeah, I just released a new single called My Pain. It's just about past depressions, drug addiction, and alcoholism that I went through. You know, I've watched my mom go through cancer, and I've been through the whole foster care process, and I've got a lot of homies I would call brothers I grew up with that, you know, either one not here, lost to drugs, or, you know, they just disappeared, seriously. But My Pain is a song that I made pretty much about my life and how I overcame all my struggles and depression. It's a big mental health awareness, you know, and mental health is a real issue in this world, and a lot of people don't make it, you know, notice enough. I mean, there's a lot of people who can, you know, keep a good smile, and you never know what they're really going through back at home.
That's true.
You know, and I had somebody real close to me, you know, lose somebody they loved very much on Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somebody that we all knew was happy, energetic, and you know, you just never know what somebody's going through. And putting this song out, it kind of got the response I expected. You know, I have a lot of people telling me that they love to hear the song because they're going through it. Some even going through worse situations that that I went through. And just hearing the song and knowing that somebody made it out and there's actually a voice out there, it just kind of, it gives people hope. You know, kind of let them know they're not alone out there in the world. So.
Okay.
It's a real big attack on mental health awareness to just let people know, you know, you're not alone out there.
Okay.
And it's always good for people to seek help.
All right, so it does have undertones of being pro-life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
Well, that being said, this particular song, where can they go ahead and buy it?
You can get it on all streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Vivo. Pretty much anywhere you look music up, you can find it. Shake My Pain. I do have a video out now on Vivo. Just type in Shake My Pain, like, share, and subscribe to my page. I do a lot of money giveaways. I do a lot of merch giveaways on my TikTok, on lives. So just tap in with me if you're an upcoming artist. I do a lot of, you know, music reviews. You know, I'll put you in a studio, network with you. You know, it's all about networking with me. So if you want to find me everywhere else, you can find me on Instagram at @theofficial_Shake, and all other social media platforms, just Who Is Shake, and it's all one word.
How did you decide that this was an industry you wanted to step into, being considered really the only time, and what most people would consider, with you being white, that this would almost be where you had to earn your right into a special society?
You know, on my end, I feel like when it comes to music, at once, I would say I had to feel like I had to earn my right when it came to society and how I was trying to generate it. But when I actually dug deep and actually found my sound, because I used to actually freestyle. I mean, I've done so much genres and different types of music, but when I finally found my sound and I found my voice, and I finally realized who I was and where I wanted to go, you know, I've tried doing all the normal stuff in life. I've tried falling in love, you know, working the job. I've even found ways to venture off music, you know, and it's like no matter what I did, it would always come back to me. It's a part of my soul, and I've got so many people that are dependent on me, you know, and I just can't to walk away from something that I've worked my whole life for. And the fact that, unlike most things, you know, you could say that you worked your whole life for something and got nowhere, but no matter what, every year I'm 10 steps further than I was the year before.
Okay.
So if that's not a reason to keep going, I don't know what is. And the fact that you really got to believe in yourself, and you've got to see it. One thing I've learned is when it comes to music, what motivates me Now in this industry, it's not much of me wanting to prove myself, but to create my type of genre of music.
You mentioned in a lot of your music is certain things that have to do with personal pains that are like identifiers for you specifically. Are you trying to speak to a general crowd? Because
I'm just trying
my
to tell.
pain seems very connected to an underlying theme of a person being in a space where they want to be unalived.
Pretty much.
So with that being said, it's like, was there ever a personal struggle that you had in your own existence, and how do you transcend that to music? Because you're clearly here today successful with all of these award-winning producers you're working with, and the fact that you're not only an artist, like you had mentioned earlier, you're an entrepreneur. So you ended up telling me, I think in our conversation, that you now have a label. How does everything work with the label and the distribution now that you kind of own your own music, I would think?
Well, you know, coming to the industry, one thing I learned is you've really got to venture outside of your city. Because no matter how hard you go, your city's never going to push you like somebody who doesn't know you. And that's the simple facts. You know, I went out to Atlanta, you know, because I'm from here in Alabama. And, you know, I went out to Atlanta more likely just trying to prove myself, when instead of trying to prove myself, I just needed to show somebody who I was. I got working in with my buddies over at KRE and Atlantic Records, and just kind of really got into the game, and got put around a lot of producers, got put around a lot of big artists, you know, a lot of people who went up and are just chilling. Pretty much just took in everybody's advice and built up my own way. I seen the opportunities and what it cost to get there, so I sat back and built my catalog and went through and did all the right stuff with paperwork and saved my money up and just invested it in myself. And now it's just kind of like I get around all these big producers, and now I've made that chance to actually put myself in front of these guys. So when I actually just really started pushing and people started noticing me, it was just more like okay, who is this kid? Who is this guy? Because it's not much of a, oh, he's rapping about drugs or this is and that. This kid don't sound like he's got nothing to prove. It sounds like he's got a story to tell.
So, do you subscribe to the idea that based on what put you on, would you consider that to be a DEI hire?
Not necessarily, because I had, you know, somebody close really bring me into the, you know, in here and around the industry. And, you know, the industry opened the doors up to help me create my own label and give me my own distribution. And, you know, I created 99 the label because ain't nobody 100. And I'm going to push this label to be a very massive empire. I've already got 3 artists under my belt.
Cool.
You know, on top of me, I'm signed to the label as well. So I represent myself outside of the label. At the same time, I'm Shake with the label.
Yeah.
So I would say that, you know, just really elevated myself and getting myself to where most people who would have to sign a record deal, blow through some money, and then realize what they have to do. I'm already knocking all that out. So when the money comes in, it's just about where we're putting it and how we're going to advance. So.
Okay. Tell me this. Who are some of the influences in the way that you make music? Because some people may say that your music is really commercial. And you've actually mentioned some projects that I'll let you bring up in your own time that have actually used your music as the undertone for whatever ad campaign that they were trying to push. So they used the instrumental to kind of put like a semblance in everybody's ear what this song absolutely means, because they even must believe this is about to blow up and this is a message that a lot of people now have to hear. So they have that kind of confidence, and I'll let you all as our viewers take a look.
All that stuff. In 2015, I thought about suicide. But I had amazing support around me that pushed me to go and get mental health help. And that's what saved me. And so along the way, I ended up getting myself back together, getting into schools and doing a lot of great things. And it wasn't until about 2020, my wife transitioned. And when my wife transitioned, you know, I really started diving deep into my mental health and pulling out all the weeds of my life. Because I didn't know I just didn't know, right? But I knew I needed help. Getting back into therapy and moving in a different direction to be the person I am today. And that was the thing. That's when I ran across this amazing song and this amazing artist that I partnered up with. And this song absolutely made me think about all the things I had gone through in life. So that's the reason why I wanted to sit down for Mental Health Awareness Month. Bring awareness to mental health. Because it's so important to get help. So if you're out there, my brothers and sisters, if you're out there, like, seek help. Because even though, and this person wasn't even dealing with it, and the name of the song was My Pain. So that's the reason why I connected with the song. And it made me partner with that. So here's a call to action for you. Reach out for help if you need it, because a lot of people are here to help you and be that catalyst to help you move forward in your journey.
Well, I can definitely say this much. We're definitely touching the hearts of a lot of people. And the song has got even more better response than we anticipated. We've broken 100,000 streams. And I mean, if the song runs the way it runs with its course, it's gonna be something the world's gonna hear. And one thing I am very grateful for is I had the mental health awareness, the disabled veterans, and the suicide awareness all reach out to me wanting to network with the song. One just using the instrumental behind the commercials, and which I had a military soldier named Brandon do. Also got a young girl named Dior who's also doing one for the suicide awareness number. You know, it's just a simple fact that I have these, bigger companies reaching out to me to want to really put their hands on the song because, they're hearing the response of how it's actually responding to not just necessarily people, but a lot of kids. And the fact that it's touching hearts of soldiers, as grown men who've been through PTSD and have that mental health awareness. Right. The fact that they're actually listening to the song and it's touching them enough to make them want to say, I want to speak to somebody about this. Yeah. So, and that's a guy that reached out to me who also did an interview, who's tapping in and helping me get investors and sponsors behind the song. So the song's definitely going to touch a lot of people. It's going to go really far, and it's going to have a really great message. And as commercial-wise, I wouldn't necessarily say it's commercial. I would say that when people actually hear the song, they're going to think the opposite. They're actually going to say, yo, it's something original. Somebody finally said what the other people are too scared to say.
Okay. So would you say you're now a voice of the generation?
I'm definitely a voice to the generation. There's, just the way the music industry's run, there's a lot who's been locked up, who are gone. It's just the industry now is taking a real side turn. Okay. And a lot of doors have opened up. And it's time somebody gets in there and really starts speaking some, I would say, some great stories, because I hear a lot of stuff that's blowing up now that just, to me, don't even make sense. But it's just the simple fact that that door's opened like that. And so now they're taking anything that has, much talent. If you have that talent, you have that shot now. It's not really that hard. You got TikTok, you got social media, everything is right there in your hands. You really don't need investors and labels anymore, but to have them is a great push.
I want to thank Shake for coming by tonight to make sure that he joined us on an edition of Sunday Suppers with Sago, where we are cooking and cocktailing. Until next time, as always, I love you like cooked food.